All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to start this lesson giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Ha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. This is Aratazah, once again from the Great Millstone GMS Atlanta camp with another quick video. And this video is going to be basically going into, of course, going into the Hebrew and, praying, and why every Israelite should have a prayer routine, all right, or prayer ritual, which should really go without saying. But there's been a spirit late, which has always been that spirit out there, but it's always lately has been a spirit of brothers and sisters as well, to basically pray more, and get these prayers down packed, man, especially the as brothers call it, the four staple or the four major prayers. All right, you got the Lord's Prayer, the Anointing Prayer, you got the Shema prayer, and then you got the curses. Those like the four major prayers that we tend to go into and send up, and then you got your you got other prayers too, such as the 10 commandments, and what's it, Psalms 121, I think it is. I know we send that up on the Passover. But then you also got your customized, your personal prayers that you might have, you know, put together yourself, or you might have watched. Brothers do all types of Hebrew prayer videos. I mean, there's a plethora of those videos on YouTube. So these are things that we're supposed to be utilizing and adding to our daily ritual, so to speak. And I just got the word or the definition for the word ritual here on Google. All right, the definition right here says a religious or solemn ceremony consisting of a series of actions performed according to a prescribed order. All right, so we know the Passover will be coming up, Lord willingly, in a couple months. I think it's in March. That's essentially like a ritual. You know, like a righteous ritual. Because some people, when you hear the word ritual, you think of something demonic. You think of but it just means, as it says, a series of actions performed according to a prescribed order. Now, I like the definition they have over here. All right, for ritual, it says a ritual is a sequence of activities involving gestures, words, all right, actions or objects performed according to a set sequence. Rituals may be prescribed by the traditions of a community, including a religious community. All right, yeah. So a ritual is just it's a set sequence of as it says, gestures and words. So you should have a prayer ritual that you go through every day. Whether you pray the first thing in the morning, all right, which is a very very good habit. Because you basically start your day off, giving thanks and giving your supplications, starting off the day in the right spirit. You, you pray in the shower, which I have the scriptures up where you really should pray um, all the time. It's different. You can pray in your car. Pray at work. You know, pray in your head. Of course, you don't want to be at work. You're doing. But you pray everywhere. But it's good to have a certain routine. To where it's like muscle memory. You kind of know what you're gonna ask the Lord for. Like I said, you go through the which I usually give thanks, and I go through the four major prayers, and then I have like my own set personal prayers that I've crafted and put together, and use the brothers' videos and stuff like that. And then of course, I kind of get to where I might just be open with it, because sometimes you might need to pray for something that's pertaining to that time. So that's good to have, man. It's good to have a ritual. It's good to have a routine, and you gotta get into the Hebrew. All right, you gotta get into the Hebrew, man. All right. And yeah, that was the point on that, right? For the word ritual. Uh, let's see what they got for routine. Let's look that up. Routine. Yeah, the same. It's like basically the same thing. A sequence of actions regularly followed, a fixed program. Yeah, so you need a ritual, you need a routine. Praying is definitely should be, a part of your daily, your daily task, man. Most definitely. All right. This is First Thessalonians 5, and getting to the point. Um, Start at 16. All right. It says, "Rejoice evermore. Pray without ceasing." All right. When you read this in the NLT, it says basically, uh, never stop praying. I'll show you that because the word ceasing means to stop or to bring to an end. All right. You should see that NLT. Never stop praying. All right. Like I said, there's a spirit within the body of brothers. It's a push for brothers to pray more. Because we're coming into some critical, crucial times. And prayer um is important. And I think, as a matter of fact, when I think about it, I had another title. That's the man. That's the spirit, because I had another title that I had written down. I think it was called "Prayer is the Ultimate Weapon," or prayer is an underrated or a major weapon, or something like that. Yeah, man. That's why prayer and fasting is constantly pushed. Those are two spiritual sources that uh bring us near to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. So those are two things that can't be forgotten, or not practiced on a regular basis. Now, of course, fasting, you fast according to the spirit. You definitely or definitely should not only fast on the Day of Atonement, but you should make fasting a part of your regular thing too. But that's according to the spirit. You don't have to be on a, well, I'm gonna fast every Tuesday, or it's all according to the spirit. You notice, like, damn, man, I ain't, I've been kind of, yeah, but I need going to fast. Like the spirit will let you know. But those are two major key spiritual weapons, man, that we have to have in these times. All right. So yeah, never stop praying. All right. You got the different translations here. Pray constantly. Right. Yeah. Matter of fact, let's just see what. Yeah, they got some. Yep, they got some. Yep, some precepts here. Yep. Romans 12. Let's see. Yeah, Luke 18:1, and he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray and to not faint, meaning not get weary or weak. You always got to pray, man. Luke 21:36, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Romans 12:12, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulations, continuing instant in prayer. So the scriptures, makes it evident prayer is very important. All right. Ephesians 6:18, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplications for all saints. Colossians 4:2, continue in prayer and watch in the same with thanksgiving. First Peter 4:7, but the end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober, meaning having a clear mind, and watch unto prayer. All right. So yeah, man, prayer is important, man. Now there's certain things that you'll vocalize, you'll say it in the English, but you know, put a heavy emphasis on the Hebrew, especially with those four major prayers. Because that's going around too. Brothers are getting tested and put on the spot, and being asked if they you know the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. All right, you You should know that. You should know how to recite it off the top of your head because you're supposed to be sending that up anyway. That's a prayer that Yahweh Shah told us to pray. All right. You read Matthew's the sixth chapter. I'll just jump to that. Matthew 6 and uh um Matthew 6 and 6. But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. Right? Prayer is it's a secret thing. You don't have to, like the scripture speak about, when you think you read up, it speaks about praying in public and all that. Prayer is a more private thing. That don't mean literally go in your closet and shut the door, but you just pray. Pray pray in privacy. All right. And then it says, verse 7, it says, but when you pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. And you follow the Hebrew. The Hebrew language is very, like brothers say, it's very forward, it's very basic, and it's very direct. So there's no need for any super complex and, as Yahweh Shah said, vain repetitions and all of that. Then it says, verse 8, be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. And after this manner, therefore pray ye, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, that will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive, as we forgive, uh, Slaki, verse 12 says, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and glory forever. Amen. So this is a specific prayer that Yahushua told us to pray, and this pretty much like covers all bases. All right, when you read through it, what I just read there, Yahushua basically, it, it covers everything. It's like a blanket prayer. There's definitely something we should have in our arsenal. And of course, we say it in the Hebrew, because brothers labored. The prayers out there. You can look it up online. And that, again, going back to the word ritual or the word routine, that should be included in your daily prayer routine. All right. And speaking of routine, this is Daniel's the sixth chapter. All right. This is Daniel. Daniel he had a high office um in the Medo, the Medo Persian Empire. He had a high office, and then the other, as it says, the other presidents and the ones who were set up over these different provinces, they were trying to, trap Daniel up, essentially get him killed, man. So they basically went to the king, and they, basically got the king to sign a petition that if anybody, uh, uh, you know, essentially, if anybody you know, praise another god or deity that's not the king, then he should be thrown in the lion's den. So this is Daniel 6 and 6 and 10. Then we can start there. Let's see. Yeah, he's read the point. Daniel 6 and 10. It says, now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, right? It says, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem. Why? Because that's another thing, we always face the east, which of course, like we said, you pray everywhere. So not every time, you're going to be able to pull out a compass and face the east, because you might be praying in your car going west or going north, whatever. You still send up prayers, but if you're able, like I said, when you're in the privacy of your home or your room or whatever, you always face the east. All right. So it says, his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, He kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his power as he did aforetime. So the point of that is that Daniel prayed 3 times a day. So that's a ritual. All right, that's a ritual. That's a routine. You probably had a certain particular time, or maybe not. But it did specify three times a day. Some brothers do that. You pray in the morning. You get up, and some brothers sing your prayers up at night. Prior to going to bed. So that's a routine. It pretty much is muscle memory. You don't even, Daniel probably didn't have to really think about it. He prayed so much, you know, that it like I said, it just became muscle memory. Um, and yeah, I think that was the point about the 3 times a day. Okay, you jump down to 13. It says, Then answered they and said before the king that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Judah, regardeth not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but maketh petition 3 times a day. So even they was aware of how much Daniel had prayed, man. All right, so Daniel was as they call it nowadays, he was a prayer warrior. All right, that's basically how we gotta be. We gotta strive to be like that, man. Prayer is very, very, very important. Now that was the point on that. There's a couple more I had here that I just pulled up. Um, Zephaniah 3 verses 8 and 9. This is therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. Okay, this battle is not our battle, but the battle belongs to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We're just fighting a spiritual battle, which is gonna get carnal, so to speak. But the carnal aspect, that's for Yahweh Shem Yahushai to bring in, man. This is for my determinations to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them mine indignation. See that? The righteous anger of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Even all my fierce anger for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. See, the Lord gonna bring fire. It's gonna get physical. But actual bodies is gonna drop. But that's not for us to carry out on our own will. It's the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and it's on his time. Now here's the point. Verse 9 is Zephaniah 3. For then will I turn to the people a pure language. All right. We have that pure language right now, which is the Hebrew. All right. Why is it pure? Because it's holy. All right. Like brothers say, the Hebrew is the language of the heavens. So when we pray, we should, uh, you know, send our prayer, our supplications up in that pure language. All right. Not saying that the Lord won't hear you if you pray in English. Now, of course, of course, you say the name of the Lord in Hebrew. All right. We don't say God and Jesus Christ and all that madness, but we understand that the Hebrew language is the language of the heavens. And it says that, excuse me, all right, that they may call upon the name of the Lord. See that? So the name of the Lord is in that pure language, which we have it today, to serve him with one consent. All right. So we in that time now where the Lord has turned to the Israelites, that's the people, okay, the pure language, which is again what? The Hebrew, okay, to call upon his name. So we gotta, utilize that, okay. And a precept to this, or another reference point, is in the book of Sirach, right? We all know about this, the prologue in Sirach, and I'll end it off here. Getting to the point of it, starting here. Well, I don't think I can highlight it, but where it says, wherefore, this is wherefore let me entreat you. Actually, let me yeah, I start there. It says, wherefore let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention. This is basically going into the scriptures. All right. It says, and to pardon us wherein we may seem to come short of some words which we have labored to interpret. For the same things uttered in Hebrew, all right, and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language. Okay, so the Hebrew has more force. Okay, that's why when we start getting to the breakdowns and get into this and get into that, all right, we always reference to go back to the Hebrew, to get the true sense of the matter. All right, and it's more potent. It hits harder. All right, so you apply that to the prayers. All right, your prayers are hit harder, for lack of a better word, utter it in Hebrew. Okay, but it all goes back to having a routine. Being as I mentioned earlier, all right, being a so-called prayer warrior. You know, and not slacking on that, man. You gotta have these prayer. And I tell the brothers here, we're all priests. All right. So when you see like the apostles, they do the demonstration videos on how to carry out the Sabbath service or the Passover service. We're all supposed to be on a level to be able to do that, to be able to, send the prayers up to do this. We're all priests and we're all leaders. So we gotta have that down pat, man. You know, and yeah, that was pretty much it. All right, just wanted to just do a quick video on that. Prayer. I guess that's a subtitle. Prayer is the ultimate weapon. Slash, we all should have a prayer ritual or prayer routine. You know, as Israelites, as teachers, as men of the Lord, as authorities on the scriptures, Hebrew Israelites. I mean, that should go without saying. All right. So with that, I'm gonna sign off there, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Chak Wadash, and Lord willingly to the next video. I'm gonna say Shalom.